Welcome to the video number 2 of professional practices, week number 3. Students, we will studying the Kohlberg's theory, and we studied the level number 1, stage number 1 and 2. Now we will start with level number 2, where we will have two stages, stage number 3 and stage number 4. What is stage number 3? Here, when the child is growing up, he starts doing good because if they do good, people will like them. So this is the approach called good boy, good girl approach, bad boy, bad girl approach, getting people to like them. So here, children think that if they do good, then everyone will say that he is a good boy, she is a good girl, and people will start liking them. So here the moral development comes in the children in order to the understanding of the children that if they do good, the people will like them and they will be considered good boys and good girls. So let's start reading this. These are basically social norms: good boy, bad boy, good girl approach. There is an emphasis on the community, on emphasis on conformity, being nice, and consideration of how choice influence relationship. Finds peer approach approval very important. Feels that intentions are important as deeds, and expect others to accept intentions or promise in place of deeds. So here it is considered that your intentions are also as important as your deeds. Deeds means when you perform some actions. So your actions are very important, and before your actions, your intentions are also equally important. Intentions mean your niyat. Begins to put himself or herself in another's shoes and think from another's perspective. So begins to put. So this is a concept of putting yourself in others' shoes. This is a concept, students, called putting yourself in others' shoes. So in Urdu we say that अपने आप को दूसरे की पोजीशन पे ला के देखें. अगर आप उसकी जगह होते तो आप क्या करते, अगर आप उसकी जगह पे होते तो क्या करते. ये कितनी बुरी हरकत है जो आपने की है, जो दूसरे को बुरा लगा, और अगर आप उसकी जगह होते तो आपको भी बुरा लगता. So when we see that putting yourself in others' shoes, it means we are trying to understand that moral development is important, and we try to understand that if we do good, then we will be considered good boy, and if we do not perform good, or if we hurt others, and if we do it unethical activities, then we will be considered bad boy and bad girl, and people will not like us. This was stage number 3. Now we will discuss stage number 4. This is again a gradual development in the moral development of the student, of a child. Stage number 4 says that the children starts obeying the law, authority and social order, maintaining orientation. So he starts doing good because the directions of the law, and because the law or the morality of the society tells us, or tells him or her, to do good. Here he is doing good activities. He is not performing unethical activities in order to make a social contract, a social order, maintain a very good relationship with the society. So let's study what is mentioned here. People begin to consider society as a whole when making judgments. The focus is on maintaining law and order by following rules, doing one's duty, and respecting the authority. Here, a person follows the rules, he respects the authority, and he performs his duty. Because he thinks that duty has to be performed, he thinks that rules have to be followed, and he respects the authority who has defined the rules and regulations for him. Is a duty doer who believes in rigid rules that should not be changed. So this is the situation where a person becomes a law abiding citizen or law abiding person, an individual, and he does not want to change the laws. He thinks that whatever the laws have been made, whatever the rules and regulations have been communicated to me, I have to follow the rules and regulations, and I don't have to obey, sorry, I don't have to disobey or go against the rules and policies. Respect authorities and obeys it without a question. Whatever is said by the authority, whatever is said by the elders, whatever is said by the society, whatever is said by the regulatory authorities, he obeys the rules and regulation, and he does not question the authority. He respects the authority, supports the rights of the majority without concern of those in the minorities. Whatever the rights of majorities are, he supports. He is part of about 80% of the population that does not progress past stage 4. So these are the 80% of the population. So students, here we see that from level number 1 to level number 2, when a person comes to level number 2, he is getting, as we have already studied, that person gradually he gets older. As soon as he gets older, he there occurs some moral development, ethical development in the child, and here he's becoming elder, and as well as now he is understanding the rules, he is understanding the law, he is becoming law abiding citizen and law abiding individual, and he follows the rules and policies which have been communicated to him, and he also respects the authority who has given the rules and regulations to him or communicated the rules to him. Stage number 4, social contract orientation. At this stage, people begin to account for the different values, opinions, and belief of others. Rules of law are important for maintaining a peace in the society, but members of the society should agree. Here, a person is getting to the next stage, and he is trying to understand what is good for the society. So he starts raising voice in public for the public development, for the development of human being. In previous stage, we said that the person or people obeys or people obey rules and regulations without any question. But now here people try people try to think which is good for the society and which is not good, and which is basically the bad activities. At this stage, people begin to account for the differing values, opinions, and belief of other people. Rule of law are important for maintaining a society, but members of the society should agree upon these standards. Okay, whenever the rules are made, these are very good for the society, but here people think that all the members of the society should agree to the rules made for him. But in previous stage, as we told and we studied, that people do not question the authority, but here people start questioning the authorities. Okay, and they start saying that what you are doing, you are not doing good. But the rule, whatever the rule has been made, this rule is not for the betterment of the society. As we see, people are protesting. So these are the people who are at the level number 5 of the moral development. Sorry. So let's see the other details. This is motivated now. Here a person is motivated by the belief in greatest amount of good for the greatest number of people. Believes in consensus rather than majority rules. Now, they do not agree, as we previously said that people agree with the majority's understanding, but here they do not believe in the majority, they believe in consensus. Consensus means ittifaq rai. Ittifaq rai means when everybody agrees. This is not the matter of majority now. Mhm. This is not the matter of majority now. This is the matter of consensus. Consensus means when there is ittifaq rai. Ittifaq rai means a rule or a regulation or any social norm which has been approved by every member of the society. ठीक है, consensus means जहाँ पे सब लोग agree करते हैं. Respect the right of the minority, especially the rights of the individual. And here they respect the right of minority. Believes that changes in the law is possible but only through the system. And these are the people who try to change the law. Whatever the law has been made and they think the law is not adequate, then they try to bring changes in the law. Then they try to bring changes in the law. And they think that laws can be changed, but the law can be changed through the system by the majority. So let's come to the last stage of moral development. This is universal and ethical principle. Universal ethical principle means people think that there should be some international and universal ethical principle which should be followed by every member. So these are the rules which are made for almost everyone in the world. Kohlberg's final level of moral reasoning is based upon universal ethical principles and abstract reasoning. At this level or at this stage, people follow these internalized principle of justice even if they conflict with the laws and rules. people follow the rules even if they disagree because it has been agreed upon. Believe that there are high moral principles than those represented by social rules and customs. These are the people who think that the rules which have been explained by the rules and regulation and the customs, there are some other ethical principles which are beyond these rules and which are more important than these rules. This person is willing to accept the consequences of disobedience of the social rule he or she rejects. So he rejects the social rules. He says, no, this social rule is not acceptable for me. He will make his own rules or he will argue for the rules. And if there is any consequence of his disobedience, he is agreed or he accepts to face the consequences of the his disobedience. His disobedience. Believes that the dignity of humanity is sacred and that all human have value. He thinks that every human in the world has the values and it should be respected by everyone, and rules and regulations should not overlook the dignity and respect of a person. So students, these were 6 stages and 3 levels of moral development. So let's summarize these 6 points once again, and after that we will move to the next topic. So here is the summary of all these levels. First, pre-convention level. In pre-convention level we have 2 stages. Number 1, obedience or punishment avoidance. Number 2, self-interest. In obedience, we see that this is the stage that allows young children to start at, and a few adults remain it. Rules are seen as being fixed and absolute, and they obey the rules and regulations. Number 2, as children grow older, they begin to see that other people have their own goals and preferences, and that often there is a room for negotiation. Decisions are based on the principles of what is in for me. So they think that they will do what is good for them. Number 3, social conformity. Conformity means in society people try to accept them as they are good boys and they are nice girls. So they will do goods because society will accept them as good boy, and do and emphasis is on living to social expectations. So they live up to the social expectations because of the conformity of the society. Law and order orientation. Here people start obeying the law and law and regulations, and they do not disobey, they obey the law, and they think that law has to be obeyed by everyone. Next, stage number 5, social contract orientation. Here the people raise voice against what they think, is not good, and they think that laws can be changed. Here they think that laws cannot be changed, laws has to be obeyed. But in another level, when they grow up and they start thinking and start giving reasoning and start taking reasoning about the things, they say that no, we can change the law, and law can be changed by the system, by the society, by the majority, and we can change the laws which are against minorities or which are against different people. And here we can see that people are raising voice against the violations or against the bad activities. Then another Orientation number 6, it is about universal ethical orientation, where they think that rules and regulations and some social expectations and social norms have to be made internationally, and they start working on it. It is based on abstract reasoning and the ability to put oneself in others' shoes. So we put ourselves in other shoes, and putting ourselves in other shoes, we start making the role laws, and we start making the social activities which are good for the people, and we start the policies, or universally accepted the rules and regulations which are basically good for the society and good for everyone, whether majority or minority. So students, this was all from the Kohlberg's theory, and in next video we will continue the lecture, and we will discuss the next topics in next video.